Hello, I'm Mr. Matthews, and today I'm taking a look at the Analogue Mega SG, which, if you didn't already know, is an aftermarket Sega Genesis FPGA console.
Yeah, what is an FPGA console?
That's an excellent question, I'm glad you asked. Now, unlike your bog standard Walmart grade clone consoles, FPGA consoles use...
Is this going to be a really technical and boring explanation?
Yes, it is. FPGA consoles use hardware emulation.
Forget it, I'll just look it up on Wikipedia later on.
That's probably a good idea. In a nutshell, this is essentially the next best thing to using the original hardware, and might actually be better than the real thing. This is a much higher quality system than something by Hypercan or Act Games, but this quality does come at a price. At just shy of $200 US, this isn't an investment everyone will be willing to make, but the features and range of compatibility that Mega SG offers make it worth that price from me. Firstly, I should warn you that I'm not fussy or concerned or interested in the minute technical details of how the system works or the most optimal ways it could be hooked up. This is basically just a general overview of the system's features as they apply to the reasons I bought it and how I'm going to be using it. This is not a comprehensive analysis of every single feature it offers. First of all, it's a great looking system, very similar in design to the Super NT while still evoking that classic Model 1 Genesis design. It's got a good weight to it and a rubberized base, so despite its small size, you won't have to worry about the console getting pulled around by the cables connected to it. It's got 2 controller ports, an audio jack, just like the original Genesis, SD card slot, HDMI out, and an expansion port that will allow you to connect it to the Sega CD. That's right, the Sega CD. Anything that works on the original hardware should, in theory, work here on the Mega SG, but we'll put that to the test a bit later. Booting up the system, you're first taken to a menu where you can choose to run the game cartridge or play a preloaded game called Ultra Core, which is a previously unreleased Psygnosis game, which reminds me a lot of the Turrican series. Under Tools, you could find what appears to be a built-in Game Genie. You can access the setting menu for a staggering amount of audio and video options. I guess we'll take a look at that real quick. You can select the resolution from 480, 720, or 1080p. You can adjust the screen size. Then there's various scalars, options for various scan lines. I don't know, a bunch of options to really fine-tune your gaming experience. But I'm done here, so let's back out. Just remember to save your settings before you turn off the system. So let's take a look at some gameplay footage. I'm going to try to pick games you don't typically see on Genesis game compilations. Let's start with, how about Atomic Robo Kid? Now here's some side-by-side comparison of gameplay from the Mega SG and footage that I captured from the original hardware using composite. By the way, although you can use original Genesis controllers on this, I'm using the 8-bit DOE M30, which is absolutely fantastic. It clearly takes inspiration from the Sega Saturn controller, and this is easily one of the most comfortable controllers I've ever used. Now, Analogue promotes this on their website, but I did have to go off-site to Amazon to buy it, and it was well worth the $25 I paid for it. It connects to the SG with this wireless receiver, which you can also use on the original Genesis, the Master System, or, well, probably any system that uses this DB9 controller port. Alright, well, original Genesis games clearly work without any issues, so let's try a repro cart. Here's Mega Man The Wily Wars, which never got a physical release in the US. Now I know what you're thinking. Genesis games are fine, but what about Master System games? Well, if you're a hoarder like me, you probably have one of these laying around, which is a Sega Genesis Power Base Converter. This is an adapter for the Sega Genesis that allows you to play Master System games. There's no reason why this shouldn't work, right? Okay, well this works, but it wasn't exactly a comfortable fit. This power base converter was specifically contoured to fit over the Sega Genesis Model 1, and it has this curved part in the back that partially obstructs the HDMI port on the SG. I had to customize an HDMI cable to allow the converter to seat down all the way into the cartridge slot. Fortunately, Analogue has a much more elegant solution. The Mega SG includes in the box this very stylish Master System cartridge adapter. So here is where I started running into a bit of trouble. While every Genesis game I tried booted up without a problem, not all of my Master System games worked. I could not get these two games to run no matter how much I cleaned them. The contacts on these cartridges look perfect, so I don't know what the problem is. And I guess now's as good a time as any to tell you that as much as I would love to show you the Sega CD connectivity, my Sega CD has gone to a better place, so that's not something I'm going to be able to show. I guess that leaves the 32X. Yeah, I guess that's about what I expected. The Mega SG doesn't have the AV in and out ports like the original Genesis, so the 32X just isn't going to work. It'll still work as a pass-through for your Genesis cards though.
What could possibly go wrong?
So what else can we try? For another $50, you can get a set of these 3 additional adapters. I was really excited about this one, which plays Game Gear cartridges, but it doesn't work. I tried about 24 Game Gear cartridges and not a single one would read. Now I've heard that the original version of the Game Gear adapter had issues, but this is the second version here, so I don't know what the problem is. I reached out to Analogue for a solution and they suggested updating the firmware, which I guess is what this SD card slot on the side is for. Updating the system was pretty painless. I downloaded the file from Analogue's website, rebooted the console with the SD card installed, and the SG handled it from there. And what do you know? After the update, all of my Game Gear games worked. I got curious what else the update might have helped, so I gave those 2 Master System games another try. And hey, now even the 32X works. Kinda. Well, let's look at the other adapters. One is for the Sega Mark III. I'll be honest, I don't even know what that is. The other is for the Sega My Card. My Card? Now what's that? Oh, do you mean this? So between the Mega SG console, the 3 adapters, and the 8-bit DOE controller, I spent about $300 for this setup. And that was well worth the price for me, particularly for the console itself, and again for the controller. I couldn't recommend this highly enough, even if you have no interest in the Mega SG. I probably could have gone without spending $50 on the 3 adapters. Even with the Game Gear adapter working, I don't know if there's quite $50 worth of enjoyment there. I would have much rather have spent $10 or $20 just for the Game Gear adapter by itself, but then I probably would not have gotten the really cool box. And that is all for me. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Mr. Matthews. Goodbye.